Jaquiski Tartt says I need therapy. He was on Twitter today interacting with his fans, and someone said, "What do you think of Grant Cohn?" And he said he needs therapy. Smiley face. You know what? He's probably right. My wife's a therapist, and it seems like everyone benefits from therapy. But I've never had therapy, and I talk to myself a lot. I was riding elevators in Cincinnati, running into Niners. I do some strange stuff. I appreciate him. I appreciate his concern and his his concern for my well-being. I'd like to send it right back to him. And it seems to me that Jaquiski Tartt's going through some tough times right now. Like, he's losing snaps to Talanoa Hufanga. That's probably got to be weighing on him at this point. You know, I mean, to me, I've always looked at Jaquiski Tartt as a good guy, but probably the most insecure player on the team. I mean, it's well known that he's in the DMs of fans all over Twitter. I mean, if you say something nice about Jaquiski Tartt on Twitter, you'll probably be DMing him within a few hours because he just really loves praise and doesn't really do well with criticism. So I think I need therapy. Jaquiski, how about the two of us? Group therapy. I think, because my wife does group therapy, and it seems like that actually, there's a lot of use for that. So I think the two of us, you and I, could get a lot out of it. What do you say? I extend it to you. What do you think?
I was surprised that he said that at first because, you have a good rapport with Jimmy Ward. And so, the two of them are friends. And so I was surprised at that. I feel like Jimmy Ward is probably in the background going, he's got those great reactions. I would love to know what Jimmy Ward thinks about this. Jimmy, what do you think? As for Jaquiski,
here's the thing. Jimmy and Jaquiski are very similar, but Jimmy Ward is the most confident player on the team. Jaquiski is the most insecure player on the team. So they're kind of on opposite
I think that Jimmy Ward actually should have a talk with Jaquiski because, he kind of went through these down years where everyone overlooked him. There were times where Jimmy Ward was a top 5 safety, but no one knew his name. And, and he's had to battle back against the fan base, against analysts left and right. I think he should go to and be like, Mr. Tartt, it's okay.
Ward has had the triumphant ending to his career.
We haven't been too critical of Tartt. Actually, to be honest with you, between the two of us, I am far more critical of Tartt. I've always been critical of him.
But Ward is someone who's fueled by criticism. I think Tartt is someone who's fueled by praise. That's probably
Ward can jaw. That's the thing. Ward's a real safety. He knows how to jaw back and forth. Right. He knows when he's screwed up, but he knows how to kind of play the big man, basically, like him and DeAndre Hopkins. When he knows he's beat, Jimmy Ward's humble. When he's amped up, I love it. But Jaquiski, as far as needing therapy, first off, I'm going to say this. That's not appropriate, and this is why. Therapy is for everyone, first off.
Yeah.
Admirals in the fleet, George Patton, doesn't matter who you are, Achilles himself, whether you're Jerry Rice, whether you're Steve Young, everyone needs someone to talk to. So to ridicule someone by saying you need therapy, that's not cool. There are a lot of great people out there who are in therapy. There are people who need therapy. And honestly, if you think you can get through life without talking to someone, you're an idiot. Mm-hmm. And I fear the person who does not work on themselves versus the person who is in therapy to improve themselves. Because let me say this.
That's why I'm inviting Jaquiski. I agree. I think I would love to. It's very expensive if you ever try to get therapy. It's a luxury for usually the richest people in the world. Jaquiski could definitely afford it. I think he could get me on a group rate and we could make something happen.
Well, let me tell you this. I'm not sure, but I think I have more followers than Jaquiski if you include my other platforms. And if he wasn't on national TV, I could definitely say I'm more famous than him. And even still, my point being is that let me put myself out there. The more famous I get, the more remiss I would be to not manage my own ego. And the reason I say that is because we are all humans, first off. I'm not better than the people watching this show. I'm not better than any other 49ers fan or player. I need to remember that. Sometimes you need to be checked. Sometimes you get under so much fire. Jaquiski, I understand that. I'm trans and I'm North African in your arena. I understand what it's like to get garbage from the fan base. Most of the fans are great, and I would encourage him to remember that. Don't let what the minority of fans do to you get to you. And when it comes to Grant, when it comes to Vish and all the other analysts and Jesse and Jason, these guys are just analyzing this team for the betterment of the sport. It's not personal. Your coaches probably say worse to you than Grant ever will, I would have to say. So I'm a little disappointed that he said that.
But again, I understand where he's coming from. Like, they're pushing him out. Jimmy Ward is very confident. He got a $30 million.
You're not pushing him out. They are pushing him out. So taking a shot at you maybe that's a prelude to taking a shot at D'Amico Ryans. Who knows? But Tartt, just do the best you can. Seriously, I mean, your fate is in your hands alone, or in Talanoa. I don't know, but
no, but I sympathize with Jaquiski. Like Jimmy Ward's a very confident person, but they rewarded him. They tried to replace him with Adrian Colbert. Jimmy Ward won that battle. His story is a happy ending. The Jaquiski Tartt story in terms of football does not have a happy ending. It has a bitter ending. The ending is the Niners draft a guy that he probably never heard of from USC in the 5th round that he probably didn't think anything of, and now that guy's taking your job. And now he's on Twitter thanking people who give him credit. So that's a pretty bitter ending. So I feel for Jaquiski, man. That's a tough.
I do like the fact that he reaches out to the fan base, because one thing I am not known for is I try to respond to every comment on my platforms. You know, I did it literally on a Wednesday. I will sit down for an hour, and that's my job for 1 hour, is to get back to everyone. So I do like that. But it's interesting what you note, that he's never done it before. I've done this since day one. The reason I'm inspired to do this is because I got an autograph snub from Ricky Henderson. And I'll never forget what that feels like as a fan. It sucks when your icon looks the other way and ignores you. So that's what drives me to reach out to people. So if Tartt wants to do this now, hey, do that for the right reasons, I hope. But maybe you're right. By the way, I have to say, you're very masterful at passively hanging him out there.
I think it was a very generous suggestion from Tartt, and I'd like to just send it right back his direction, man. Thank you.
I understand. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm just saying, it's so masterful how you really sunk him on that. I have to award the round to you. Ding, ding.
Well, you know, he brought up the subject, and I thought it was just fantastic. And I thought, you know, maybe he should think about it too. So, Jaquiski.
You know what? Maybe it's your fault. You never had him on here.
Hey, let's do it. We can have the therapy set. My wife can lead it. The two of us can say, how did it make you feel when Grant Cohn tweeted that? Well, I didn't like it. Well, Grant, how did it make you feel? Well, you know, I understand. I think we can get somewhere. And so when they take you out and put Talanoa Hufanga in mid-drive, how does that make you feel? I think that's a good question.
I think it's a great question for football. I don't know about therapy though. I think it's inflammatory, and I think Tartt might feel a little bit wounded over that.
You're right. See, that's why I'm not a therapist. I am a shit disturber. Okay, thank you very much. I'm just kidding.
If you want a group therapy session, I have to come as a mediator. Just saying.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll bring gloves.
I like it. The more the merrier.
All right, let's go.